Is Michael Jordan the GOAT of basketball? We'll dive deep into the many main reasons why he is the greatest of all time and how he compares to LeBron James and more. The first reason why people say Jordan is the best ever is that he was extremely effective on both ends of the floor. Michael was one of those players that only appears once in a lifetime. The majority of players usually specialize on one end while not being very skillful on the other. There are many examples of this, like Trae Young, Reggie Miller, and Carmelo Anthony. These players could shoot hoops in their sleep. However, they didn't put enough work on the defensive end. On the other side of the league, some great defensive players were not that good offensively. For example, Andre Roberson, Wallace, Dennis Rodman. These types of players have a talent for locking down their opponents and making it difficult for them to score, but they couldn't light up the scoreboard very often. Michael, on the other hand, was a 10-time scoring champion and also won the Defensive Player of the Year award. Even though most of the videos you can find about Jordan are from the offensive plays or slam dunk contest, he still was an outstanding lockdown defender as well. Michael had a good 6'9" wingspan, while his teammate Scottie Pippen had a wingspan of 7.25 feet. This made plays for their opponents very difficult. Jordan and Pippen were the two best wing defenders of their time. On the offensive end, Michael was breathtaking. He averaged 30.1 points. In fact, nobody has broken this record to this day. He also accumulated 32,292 points, which is the fifth highest in NBA history. But that's not all. The athlete also had 8 seasons of averaging 30 points. Fans praise this achievement because it shows how long Jordan was able to keep up a high pace. On the defensive end, Michael recorded 6.2 rebounds and 2.2 steals a game throughout his career and was a 3-time steals leader. Jordan also averaged a block per game or more during 4 straight seasons. Even though Michael's defensive accolades are often forgotten because of his offensive game, there is no doubt that Michael was a complete player. Speaking of accolades, this is another main reason for fans believing that he is the greatest ever. There have been several incredible players throughout NBA history, but not many could compare themselves when it comes to Michael's accomplishments. Right from the start, Jordan was a unique player. He began his pro career averaging 28.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 2.4 steals on his way to winning Rookie of the Year award, facing Hall of Famers such as John Stockton, Charles Barkley, and Hakeem Olajuwon. The NBA legend was a flyer in the mold of Julius Erving. While Michael may not have been as good a passer as Magic or a good a shooter as Larry Bird, he was an entertaining player to watch. Jordan started to make a name for himself by winning back-to-back slam dunk championships in 1987 and 1988. He was a staple at the annual All-Star game and was recognized as an All-Star 14 different times. Jordan was a savage scorer and was a 10-time scoring champion. As of today, Jordan sits 5th all-time on the scoring list. As proof of his talent, Michael was named 10 times to the All-NBA First Team and 1 time to the NBA All-Second Team. He was also named Most Valuable Player 5 times. Like with all the greats, what many tend to praise about Michael was that he was capable of elevating his teammates and making them better. This is why everyone loves him. His personality and mindset were just different. Most players fold at pressure-packed moments. Michael was one of the few who actually confronted every single situation. He was an assassin, particularly in the fourth quarter and the closing minutes of games. It was not only a matter of landing the shot during the last seconds of a game, but also choosing the right play. The legend made a clutch pass in Game 6 of the 1997 Finals to Steve Kerr, and Kerr was responsible for the dagger that sunk the Utah Jazz. This was one of many Jordan's highlights. There is also the shot over Craig Elo in the closing seconds of Game 5 of the first round against their Eastern rivals Cleveland Cavaliers. All of these moments were during a close series tied at 2-2, and for Michael, it was sink or swim. However, Jordan's most iconic shot was a mid-range jumper over Brian Russell during Game 6 of the 1998 Finals. But Jordan is not only considered the GOAT for his stats, he also led the entire NBA to the international stage. The league was not always as big and rich as it is today. At one point, low ratings and drug scandals almost put the NBA out of business. The NBA was not famous outside the US, so it needed to boost in its international presence, and Michael Jordan was the man to do it. For starters, Michael was a standout product endorser. Even though he endorsed many brands, Jordan is mostly known for endorsing Nike, Coca-Cola, Hanes, Gatorade, and Wheaties. Besides being a pitchman, Michael was also a talented ambassador for the NBA. His name was everywhere when he was part of the legendary 1992 Dream Team alongside Larry and Magic. This helped the world get to know the NBA. Jordan is not only a great basketball player, but he's also an outstanding businessman. Once he retired, the legend transitioned from basketball to being a media personality and an endorser. Jordan was a huge celebrity in every sense of the word. He would land interviews everywhere and would even make appearances on shows hosted by Larry King, David Letterman, and Jay Leno. And as many already know, Jordan got a role in the movie Space Jam. This was a huge crossover between the NBA and Looney Tunes characters. But Michael wasn't the only player to accomplish such things on and off the basketball court. If you talk about the greatest player ever, then we all know you can't leave a specific player out of the conversation, and that's LeBron James. Who is the best of all time, LeBron or Michael? Most people confuse being the best with being the greatest. Being the best only regards your pure skill and talent in the game, but being the greatest is everything, winning and achieving the most in every area of the game. To analyze who did the most in their career, we must take a look at some career statistics. Out of the 1,371 regular season games that LeBron James has played, he won 65.4% of them. He had a career record of 899 and 472. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan has won 65.9% of his games. He's played in 1,072 games and has a career record of 706 and 366. Michael Jordan has a better winning percentage. However, LeBron James has won more games. However, the discussion about the GOAT can go on forever. Allen Iverson is one of the NBA legends who thinks James is even better than Jordan. Allen stated that although no player can deny Jordan's legacy, no one could have done what James did for this era. As much as I adore Michael Jordan, King James is the one, Iverson said. He is the one, man. The dude is the one. Some opinions may change as per the era, as many have feelings attached to either of the two greats depending on who they grew up watching. However, many players who have played against Jordan also side with James. Shaquille O'Neal, who could have easily become the GOAT himself, had the bravery to say that Jordan was the best. But Shaq's goal had always been to be the most dominant, which most people would say he even achieved. Shaq recently spoke his thoughts on the debate about the greatest ever and said the following: "It's difficult to name a top three. No, I wouldn't call myself the best ever, but I have a question for you and the team. Once LeBron surpasses Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in points this year, will that make him the greatest player ever? I believe the greatest player ever is Michael Jordan. James is about to do something that hasn't been done in a long time, and I'll put his name up there. But to me, it's always Dr. J, Michael Jordan, Magic, and those guys. I do admire LeBron, but listen, Jordan was the best in my opinion." Shaquille O'Neal's opinion may have a lot of meaning behind it since he played against both Jordan and LeBron, and as far as the big man is concerned, Michael Jordan remains the GOAT. Michael Jordan is considered widely the best NBA player ever to step on a court. When looking at his pedigree, it's easy to see why. He had amazing stats, a perfect finals record, 5 MVPs, as well as ample scoring titles. That alone pushed him to the top of the NBA world. He was a lethal player with an unmatched drive as well. It was that drive that made him so unique. There are plenty of players with rings, but no one hit Jordan's peak. If you like this video, then you'll surely enjoy what NBA legends actually think of LeBron James. So who is the NBA's greatest of all time? Drop the name of the player who you think is the most accurate GOAT status. Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.